Good morning. I'm Liz Lyserson. My pronouns are she, her. I'm an advisor to the youth group, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to worship with the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Nashville this morning. On Sunday mornings, we bring our whole selves, our many names for the divine, our diverse spiritual paths, and join together in worship. Rather than being bound by a common creed, as Unitarian Universalists, we covenant together to affirm our interdependence and recognize the inherent worth and dignity of everyone. We are a welcoming congregation. Guided by reason and inspired by love, we serve our congregation's mission to create community, nurture spiritual growth, and act on our values in the broader world as we work for social and environmental justice. I would like to extend a special welcome to anyone who may be visiting with us for the first time. Whoever you are, whatever brought you here, wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome here. If you would like to learn more about Unitarian Universalism or how to become involved in the life of the congregation, you can reach out to our student minister, Danielle Garrett. You can find her contact information on our website, firstuunash.org, where you can also learn about religious education, faith formation, and social justice activities, as well as ways to give. We are so glad you have joined us for worship and for Youth Sunday this morning.
Good morning. My name is Melanie Bresnan. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the temporary music coordinator here at First Unitarian Universalist Church of Nashville. Please join in body or in spirit in singing our first hymn, number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. It is a round. I know, what a way to welcome us all back in person, but I have great faith in us. We're only gonna do 2 parts. So we have a descant. If you're afraid of singing the round, you just have to sing these 2 phrases the entire time. We also will have part 1 over here, part 2 over here. I'll do my best to cue you. When I hold my hand up like this, you're almost free of the round experience. All right, are we ready to try it? Okay, so here's the descant. Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows. Get ready, part 1. Here we go. Come, 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 whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come, 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 whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Beautiful, thank y'all.
she, her. Whether you're with us in person today or joining us online, I invite you to take a moment and think of all you hold dear, the people and places, ideas and beliefs that reside closest to your heart. Love and acceptance spreads outward, but remember that it begins with you and each and every one of us. Radical hospitality begins at home, with yourself and with those closest to you. Come, let us worship with the knowledge that we are not alone.
Good morning. Oh, that's lovely. I am Marguerite Mills, your Director of Lifespan Religious Education. My pronouns are she and her. And this morning's chalice lighting comes from Jay Wolin. Are we a people of holding on or of letting go? Holding on to rigid ideas or letting go and opening our minds and our hearts to something new? Holding on to certainty of how things should be, letting go and living with the uncertainty of new ways of being in the world. Holding on to what makes us comfortable, or letting go so we may grow, which can be uncomfortable. Holding on to what makes us safe, or letting go to make room to help others feel safe. Technology break. With this flame, this symbol of our religion, let it be a symbol of burning up the ties that hold us back from being our true self and reaching our true potential. Let it be a symbol of lighting a new way for us into a better tomorrow. And let it be a symbol of letting go, because holding on too long and too tightly is never good for the soul. And I would add, let it be a symbol of learning new things from our youth.
Hi, my name is Gwen Johnson. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a youth of this congregation, and these are my besties. Once upon a time, because that's how all the best stories start, there was a woman and her husky. They lived happily together in their house. One day, the husky saw a small gray form scurry across the floor. She barked. The woman looked up from her book to see a little mouse staring up at her. She jumped up. "It's go time," she said. The mouse scurried away with a squeak, and the chase began. First, the mouse ran under a chair. It peeked out from behind the chair leg. The husky saw the mouse and barked. As the woman ran to move the chair, the mouse darted out of the room. "Let's go," the woman said, beckoning the husky to follow her. The pair got into the hallway, but the mouse was nowhere to be seen. The husky lifted her head, sniffing the air. She trotted to the bedroom, and the woman followed. The husky sniffed the ground. She sniffed and sniffed and sniffed. Finally, she reached the bed. The woman, knowing her role, lifted up the bed for the husky to reach the mouse. As the husky pounced forward, the mouse escaped. It scurried across the carpet and under the dresser. As quickly as she could, the woman dashed to the dresser and lifted it up. The husky pounced again, but the mouse bounded into the hallway. The mouse ran through the hallway and into the kitchen, with the woman and the husky hot on its tail. The mouse ran under the fridge. As the two were searching for it, the mouse leaped up to the stool, then onto the counter, around the fruit bowl, under the blender, on top of the toaster. Soap sprayed out as it hopped from the soap container and over the sink. With one final leap, it landed in the mixing bowl and spun round and round and round. The husky and the woman watched as the mouse soared through the air like a bird lifted by the wind. With grace, the mouse rolled through the fall and continued running back into the hallway. As if coming full circle, the mouse ran back into the living room. As the woman and the husky entered, the husky began sniffing. She ended up at the bookshelf. The woman reached for the shelf. She looked her furry friend in the eyes, and a silent bond of trust was acknowledged between the two. There was no one else they'd rather be chasing a mouse with. The woman pushed the shelf to the side, and the husky lunged. Dramatic pause. Oh, crap. The husky lifted her head, showing the woman the mouse safe and sound, gently placed in her mouth. The husky trotted to the door. The woman opened it. The husky tenderly lowered her head and opened her mouth. The mouse emerged, but before it left, it turned and tipped an invisible hat towards the woman and the husky. And with that, it scurried away.
Oh, good morning. It is so good to be here among you. I'm the Reverend Diane Daugert. My pronouns are she and her, and I have words for the offering today. I'm sure you all know that we share every Sunday's collection with an organization whose work outside our walls aligns with our values. Our Share of the Plate partner for the month of February is Habitat for Humanity, and their mission is to build strength, stability, and self-reliance through shelter. During this time, when we're still under pandemic conditions, we're not going to pass offering bowls. There is an offering bowl on the credenza behind the very last pew where you can place offerings at any time during the service. And as always, you can use our website to make a donation online. The offering is a sacrament of the Free Church. It is supported by the voluntary generosity of all who join with us. As always, your gifts, like your presence among us, are received with gratitude.
I'm over here now. Hello. I'm the strong one. I'm not nervous. I'm as tough as the crust of the earth is. I move mountains, I move churches, and I glow because I know what my worth is. I don't ask how hard the work is. Got a rough, indestructible surface. Diamonds and platinum, I find up my platinum. I take what I'm handed, I break what's demanded. But under the surface, I berserk as a tightrope walker in a 3-ring circus. Under the surface, was Hercules ever like, yo, I don't wanna fight Cerberus? Under the surface, I'm pretty sure I'm worthless if I can be of service. A power crack, a straw on the stack. What breaks the camel's back? What breaks the camel's back is pressure like a drip, drip, drip that'll never stop. Whoa, pressure that'll tip, tip, tip till you just go pop. Whoa, give it to your sister's older. Give her all the heavy things we can't shoulder. Who am I if I can't run with the ball? If I fall to pressure like a grip, 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 and it won't let go. Whoa, pressure that'll tick, tick, tick till it's ready to blow. Whoa, give it to your sister's stronger. See if she can hang on a little longer. Who am I if I can't carry it all? If I falter under the surface, I have my nerves as a worse, and so worry something is gonna hurt us. Under the surface, the
ship doesn't swerve as it heard how big the iceberg is under the surface. I think about my purpose, can I somehow preserve this? Line up the dominoes, the light wind blows. You try to stop it tumbling, but on and on it goes. But wait, if I could shake the crushing weight of expectations, would that free some room up for joy or relaxation or simple pleasure? Instead we measure this growing pressure. Keeps growing, keep going, 'cause all we know is pressure like a drip, drip, drip that'll never stop. Whoa, pressure that'll tip, tip, tip till you just go pop. Whoa, give it to your sister, it doesn't hurt, and see if she can handle every family burden. Watch as she buckles and bends, but never breaks. No mistakes, just pressure like a grip, 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 and it won't let go. Whoa, pressure that'll tip, tip, tip till it's ready to blow. Whoa, give it to your sister and never wonder if the same pressure would have pulled you under. Who am I if I don't have what it takes? No cracks, no breaks, no mistakes, no pressure.
Wow. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you. What a day this is. One that comes with a convergence of events and feelings. The joy of reopening the sanctuary once again, let's hope this time it takes, and the exuberance of Youth Sunday are tempered by the heaviness of what is happening on the other side of the world with the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. It's a time when we need one another and the warm embrace of religious community to hold it all. And in this time of transition, as we continue to learn how to offer worship that is both online and in person, we have yet to figure out a process for sharing the joys and concerns of the community during worship in a way that honors privacy in a multi-platform environment and provides a means for follow-up by your lay ministers as needed. Know that your lay ministers remain ready to support you and listen to you in your times of need. And you can find their information on how to contact them on our website. And know that whatever joy or sorrow that you have brought here with you today, that you are held in the care of those present here in the room and those connecting from home. The altar flowers today were donated by the family of David Mark Nelson, who died January 23rd of COVID complications, and his celebration of life ceremony was held here yesterday. As I prepare to invite you into a moment of prayer, I'm reminded that for Unitarian Universalists, action is one way that we pray. So be watching your midweek email this week for actions that you can take to support the Ukrainian people as their country is under siege. For now, let us pray with our hearts and our minds, with these words adapted from a prayer offered by the Reverend Eric Cherry, who directed the UUA's international office for many years. Let us pray. Spirit of life, God of justice, Mother of creation, you call us to embody equity and freedom in our lives. You are present in every struggle to overcome oppression, with peace and justice. And though our siblings in Ukraine are half a world away from us, we seek to be as near to them as we might, in spirit and in prayer. Strengthen and encourage the noble cause of citizens and religious leaders of Ukraine. Inspire members of the Russian government to turn their hearts and minds from greed and lust for power to wisdom, understanding, and compassion. Comfort those who suffer in this and all struggles for peace and justice in our world. We seek to be useful instruments in solidarity with the people of Ukraine, and so we rededicate ourselves to living lives examined through the lens of right relationship internationally. Our prayer is that in this very moment, wisdom and compassion will guide our hands and our hearts. May it be so. Amen. Amen.
Please rise in body or in spirit in singing number 1053, How Could Anyone?
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Hi. I'm Rue. My pronouns are he, they. Emphasis on the he, less on the they. I'm a youth here, kind of obviously. Maybe you know me, maybe you don't. At the end of the day, I suppose that doesn't particularly matter. I'm not here to speak about myself. I'm here to speak about you. All of you. Or rather, to you. You see, it's taken me most of my life to realize who I am, and I'm not even done with that yet. I have bits and bobs and pieces, but no whole. Life isn't a puzzle. It's not a set amount of pieces that fit together perfectly. It's everything you find on the street. That penny you picked up yesterday, the pencil you found on your desk that you don't remember setting there, the hug you got the other day, the one that made your world spark up and warm. Life is a bunch of junk, a bunch of sentimental pieces that don't fit anywhere but your own heart. Because life isn't something to assemble to make whatever is on the tin, it's your own creation. And that creation is good. I suppose it's a good idea to say what I'm really talking about here, not the pieces we fit together with clumsy hands, not the memories and objects we have stored up in our brains. It's us. Just us. Because no matter who you are, what misfit and mess of a person you've made yourself to be, whatever delicate masterpiece you gaze through every day, you are all whole. You are all good. And the hardest thing about that is accepting it. I've been diagnosed with plenty of things, fibromyalgia, depression, OCD, sleep apnea. I know how hard it is to look at yourself, to love yourself. And it's taken me a long time to get to this point where I can say that I do love myself, where I can see that I'm good. And with time and luck on our sides, I believe we can all see that too. Because at the end of the day, you are not measured by your mistakes. You are not measured by your achievements. You are not measured at all. Because you are you, and that is good. The environment shapes us, changes us in ways that no one could ever expect. Plenty of us here have gone through terrible times. Look around you. We're in a pandemic. Everyone here has lost someone. Everyone here has lost something. And that hurts. It really does. I might have not lost many to COVID, might not sit in fear of a family member being killed or dying in the near future, but life happens, and no one can tell the future. I suppose that's why many of us have that part of ourselves that we hate, that one part that always messes up. That racist remark you thought of, that time you misgendered another, that moment where you thought about those you hate dying, hurting, crashing to the ground, and experiencing what they've done to you. Those parts we feel guilt over, because we all want to be good people. Because UU principles tell us to be good people. They tell us to forgive, to help others, to even help ourselves, to get ourselves out of the pits we've dug, to learn how to heal, to love. Unitarian Universalism likes to put a large emphasis on loving your neighbor, on being hospitable. In fact, that's the idea this year: hospitality, being kind, being welcome. Are you all kind to yourselves? While I'm here to give a sermon, to teach something I've learned, I find it harder to say what I know without knowing what all of you know. So I suppose the real topic of this sermon is a question. Do you love yourself? I hope you do. I hope you look at yourselves with love and kindness in your eyes, that you see your faults and mend them with gold, that you gaze at your form and your mind and know that you are whole as you are, good as you are. Because once you love yourself, once you love every part of you, you can truly love another. You can be whole. You can be you.
Hello again. Our reading for today is And How Are the Children by Patrick T. O'Neill. Among the most accomplished and fabled tribes of Africa, no tribe was considered to have warriors more fearsome or more intelligent than the mighty Maasai. It is perhaps surprising, then, to learn that the traditional greeting that passed between Maasai warriors, Kaserian Injera, one would always say to another, it means, and how are the children? It is still the traditional greeting among the Maasai, acknowledging the high value that the Maasai always place on their children's well-being. Even warriors with no children of their own would always give the traditional answer, all the children are well. Meaning, of course, that peace and safety prevail, that the priorities of protecting the young, the powerless, are in place, that Maasai society had not forgotten its reason for being, its proper functions and responsibilities. All the children are well means that life is good. It means that the daily struggles for existence do not preclude proper caring for their young. I wonder how it might affect our consciousness of our own children's welfare if in our culture we took to greeting each other with this daily question, and how are the children? I wonder if we heard that question and passed it along to each other a dozen times a day, if it would begin to make a difference in the reality of how children are thought of or cared about in our own country. I wonder if every adult among us, parent and non-parent alike, felt an equal weight for the daily care and protection of all the children in our community, in our town, in our state, in our country. I wonder if we could truly say, without any hesitation, the children are well. Yes, all the children are well. What would it be like if the minister began every worship service by answering the question, "And how are the children?" If every town leader had to answer the question at the beginning of every meeting, "And how are the children? Are they all well?" Wouldn't it be interesting to hear their answers? What would it be like? I wonder.
Hey, it's me again, Rue, he, they, in case you forgot. Now, while before I spoke about loving yourself, I think it's time to speak about loving others. And for a lot of us, that starts with the children. Now, not all of you are parents or grandparents, but all of you have unique relationships with children, whether they are your nephews, nieces, cousins, friends, mentees. As a kid, a teenager, I'm 17 now, 1 year away from adulthood. I'd like to think I know how parents and adults should treat children like. Given I have two of the most wonderful and welcoming parents in the world. You're both in different places. It's hard to point to both of you at once. But my parents have made mistakes. Like I said earlier, we all have those parts of us that we hate, that burns inside of us like a caustic flame, reminding us of all of the things that we've done wrong. And while it's important to forgive yourself, to mend the gaps in your form, you have to mend those between you and whoever's been hurt as well. Think of those children that you've encountered. Think of what you may have done wrong. It's impossible to redo those mistakes, but it is possible to better your relations with others. So I ask, start with the children. I know all of you hold a belief, a simple one single word, well, not a word, it's a sentence, taught over and over, and it's that the children are our future. The children are your future. And as such, you must do what you can now to help them later. But I wonder, how many of you have asked the children what they need, what they want in life beyond their next simple want like food or shelter or love? I've met so many children who want that love, that trust, that respect, and not just in the future, they want it now. They need it now. Because children are us, children are all of us. All of us were once children, or we still are children. Hey, look at me. The same respect and trust and love that you levy at your equals should be levied at the children too. Because the children are your equals. The children are you. They are just as human as you are. I am your equal. I've seen too many children with the same story. The adults in their lives use them like clay in a potter's hand, sculpting them into something satisfactory, something good. But it's only good for the molder, for the one sculpting. The painter controls everything, and the paint never fights back. But kids aren't paint. They aren't clay. They aren't yours to mold, to create, to shift. A child is a person just like you. From the second they are born, they are themselves, no more under your whim than you are theirs. Children are your equals in that they're the sum of their experiences, just like you are. It took my family a long time to realize this, and it's only been in the past few years that we've gotten better. We're not perfect, but we're good. We love each other. We respect each other. Love is a two-way street, and while the kids around the world may love you to hell and back, I ask, do you love them? Do you respect them? When they say no, do you find other options? Do you ask how they feel? Do you ask what you can do better? Because from my opinion, from my friends' opinions, from everyone I know, that answer is usually a no. A lot of adults treat children like they are unknowable, like they're different from humans, something other, something else. But we aren't. We're all human, all in this world together, and we are all worthy of respect, of trust, of love. For this Youth Sunday, I think it's important to remember that at the heart of this, we are all children. We are all adults, too. The reason I am able to come up here and give a reflection is not because of my age, nor my experience, but because of my humanity. And so I ask, how many of your friends, cohorts, colleagues, outside or inside of this church treat their children or children around them like others? How many of your friends make their children call them titles? I have family friends, their kids call their father sir. Their father. Does he call them sir back? Does he levy the same respect for them that they do him? Do you know that the only thing a child ever wants is to impress you, to impress us? They spend their whole lives trying to be perfect for you. I ask you, have you ever tried to be perfect for them? Tried to love them, take pride in them, hold them as they cry, and tell them that you love them? That no matter what they do, you are here for them? How many times do you say you love kids, that you love all kids? How many times do you respect children's wishes? How many times do you give back what they've given you time and time again? My dad does it every time he can. When loving yourself, you have to accept all of yourself, respect all of yourself, trust all of yourself. To be Unitarian Universalist means you love the children too.
Please rise in body or in spirit to sing our closing hymn, Wo Ya Ya, number 1020. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know it then, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you.
Howdy. My name's Jason Plummer. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a youth advisor. And in the spirit of not holding on too tight and letting go, today's chalice extinguishing is going to be a little bit different. You see, this is my first year as a youth advisor, and one of the rewards is that I kind of see that chalice differently now. And that flame that you see right there, that's actually us. We're the flame. That said, we're going to extinguish that flame, okay? But not the light of truth that is each of us, nor the warmth of our community, and certainly not the fire of our commitment. I carry those and have been carrying those in my heart. I lost my place. Give me 1 second. Shouldn't have looked up. See, I carry those in my heart for when we can be in whatever capacity that might be, together again. And whether you're watching this service from here or from home, or if you're just listening to it with earbuds on a weekday or maybe before you go to bed, you need to know that that's when we're together. I have spoken.
May we have hope that we can work together to create change, believing that our actions and interactions with one another have profound influence. May we remember to love and affirm others as we know ourselves deserve the same love and acceptance. May we remember that others love and affirm us. The reality of this world can sometimes be startling, but we do not have to face it alone. In fact, we are stronger when we don't. May we continuously work together to create a space of love and acceptance and recognition. And through this, may we work toward a future in which we can truly say, the children are well. Yes, all the children are well. This service is over. Let our service begin again renewed.